is telling me I've never seen sentiment this bad. Like even when we had the FTX and the Terra Luna and the crypto contagion, all of that, like things were bad, sentiment was bad, but it is really, really, really bad now. Like we're not even seeing a lot of these top altcoins perform well. Some people are attributing it to the great liquidation event that happened on October 10th. A lot of people are contributing it to crypto market structure. People are blaming Trump. Things are just really kind of all over the place. And it does get a little bit concerning because what is the future of crypto going to hold? A lot of people kind of got caught holding the bag. So I'm going to give you guys an update on crypto market structure, what's happening with that. We're also going to talk about something that Kevin O'Leary said that's going to make a lot of people upset, primarily because most people that invest for themselves do not practice risk management. And it's a very, very, very hard conversation to discuss. But we're going to discuss it on the show because that's what we do. We talk about the reality of things. We talk about the positive, we talk about the negative, but we also keep things centered. The reason why is because if we're not keeping things centered and we're not paying attention to both sides and we're not talking about the hard truths and I'm just making you guys false promises, number one, that sucks. Number two, I'm not going to live that way. And number three, that's not going to help you guys improve your quality of life. It's not going to help you all do better for yourselves. And the reason why you're in crypto and the reason why you're here is because we want to make as much money as ethically and legally as possible. And we do that with not only practicing common sense, but taking accountability and also thinking for ourselves. So welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto, every single day. I'm WendyO. Shout out to everybody that's here. We only got 3 likes, but over 100 people watching and we just started. I'm gonna need you guys to get these likes up to at least 100, okay? Liking is free. Shout out to the channel members. Good morning to Mr. Dale, to Mr. R. Thank you so much for Lawrence to the $10 super chat. I know. Nails are done. Thank you so much. My baby, she got light pink. So thank you so much, Lawrence. Again, good morning to Mr. R and to everybody else that's watching. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first order of business here is going to be from Miss Ellie, and she's reporting on what's happening with crypto market structure. Remember, everybody was in Davos last week, which is the elites, all that stuff. We reported a lot on what's happening with stablecoins and the yield and exactly why they don't want to give that. We've talked really kind of about policy and what we can expect with AI, with robots, and the one blockchain that BlackRock is talking about. And we talked about a lot of things, and we're going to continue to do that because it's information that you need to know. So as far as the crypto market structure, the Senate has canceled Monday votes ahead of the Snowmageddon. Members will now likely trickle in ahead of Tuesday's late afternoon votes, leaving the fate of the Senate AG committee's crypto market structure markup unclear. Right now, what they are focusing on the Credit Card Competition Act, okay, which prohibits credit card networks and certain card issuing financial institutions from requiring network exclusivity on credit cards. So that's a big thing that's happening. I'm not exactly sure if that's where they're going to be discussing how they cap on interest rates, with what they charge you. Basically, if you have to take out credit card debt, which again, credit cards, I was brought up that you use those for emergencies. But unfortunately, because the economy is so bad and the spending is so bad, people have to use credit cards for basic necessities, food, energy, and shelter. So that's what they're focusing on right now. And of course, I'm from Southern California, and we're a little bit overcast over here, but we're not having extreme weather conditions like the rest of the country. So if you're in some of those areas, we're rooting for you. I hope that you're okay. I hope that you've got enough prepped and whatnot. In my garage, we always keep these big, I have a lot of water, and I've got a lot of canned and stuff, God forbid, emergencies. That's just how we work. I don't know if it's Italian in me, but we always got stuff. So I hope that you guys are prepared. Stay in and please be safe, because you're not going to be able to make money, life-changing money, if something happens to you. So I hope everything's okay. Now, the next piece of information over here that people are going to get mad about, let's talk about. And I got another video for you guys drop in at 2 p.m. PT. People are going to get mad at me. That's fine. I just give my opinion, is what it is. But Kevin O'Leary, he's making the rounds right now. If you guys don't know who Kevin O'Leary is, he's the guy on Shark Tank. In addition to that, he was a big crypto investor and talked a lot about FTX and a lot of, very, very involved in crypto, still is. But there's a viral clip going around about him. And this is important. Let's go ahead and listen to it. Hold on.
27 positions when I started to see the analysis from my own analysts. And luckily, I missed that meltdown on October 20. But I took a hit on ETH and BTC, but it's come back a lot more than the Poopa coins have. Some of those Poopa coins are never coming back. There's no reason to them.
So in that clip, he says that he sold 27 positions of altcoins. He just completely sold and put those into Bitcoin and Ethereum. His Bitcoin and Ethereum is back now, doing better than what it was before. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about risk management and why he probably did that. Did he sell the bottom? He could have, 100% could have, but he did what was in his best interest to protect his capital. Capital preservation is incredibly important. We don't talk about it enough in crypto because everybody is so concerned about the big old circle J's that happen. They're concerned about the communities, and they're concerned just about the tribal mentality. Tribal mentality will get you wrecked. It will always get you wrecked. It will get you wrecked in real life. It'll get you wrecked in investing. It'll get you wrecked in crypto. It'll get you wrecked in every aspect of life, okay? One of the biggest problems in society we have, people are not able to critically think. Critically thinking is basically just looking at a situation, looking at both sides, and coming up with a scenario that matters to that makes sense to you. Critical thinking, when you're doing this, and especially in investing and not diversifying and not actively taking profit, that's a problem. You're going to get decimated. So some people are going to say he sold the bottom. Did he though? He's also talking about a lot of altcoins will not come back. And I agree with him 100%. This is something we talk not only a lot about on this channel, but just in crypto in general. And I got into crypto at the end of 2017. If you look at the top coins that were trending in 2017, or at least the top 100, they're no longer in the top 100, majority of them, okay? Majority are not there anymore. You want to know why? Because every single crypto project outside of Bitcoin is like a small business. Most small businesses fail, not because they're bad actors, not because they're scammers, but because running a business requires multiple different personalities. There's a book that I have, I think I still have it there. It's called The E-Myth. It talks about how to become a successful entrepreneur. Just because you're really good at baking doesn't mean you're good at filing taxes. Just because you're good at filing taxes doesn't mean you're good at customer service. So being able to delegate tasks is going to be important. And in crypto, we see a big problem with that because a lot of people come in and they're super, super tech heavy and they don't know how to delegate properly. And this is something that we're actually seeing really, really a lot behind the scenes in crypto marketing. It is worse than I have ever seen it before. And this is another reason why a lot of projects aren't doing well and they will go away, is because the way these companies are structured is they're just going to get decimated. But back to what Kevin Lirio said. A lot of these coins are not going to be around for a long time. And I agree with him. This is why we make moonbags. This is why we de-risk. This is why we have trading and investing plans, so that we are aware of what is happening, what the reality of the situation is. A lot of coins were wrecked on when we got the great liquidation event on October 10th, I believe, 2025, meaning that they dumped and they're not going to come back. Because what ends up happening is a lot of these companies rely on treasuries or foundations, and they get a certain amount of allocations to pay for salaries, to pay for marketing, to go to events, to pay for development, all of that. All right. And if the coin number drops, that means these people are getting less fiat, because eventually they do have to cash out. They're getting less fiat. They're not going to be able to pay for a lot of their bills and pay for overhead costs. So it's going to essentially force them into what is known as bankruptcy. Now, just because a project has good tech doesn't mean that it's going to sustain. They're also going to have good communication skills. They're going to be able to build a good network. And a lot of these projects just aren't doing that. And in addition to that, a lot of these projects are not able to pivot. There's been quite a few projects that have totally scrapped their foundations. They're reworking positions. They're letting go of people, 40% of people, and they're restructuring their companies to fit the current narrative. And a lot of it right now is RWAs and stablecoins, primarily stablecoins. That's what you're seeing a lot of companies focus on. That's one of the reasons why Ripple has RLUSD. That's the reason why you're seeing a lot of companies focus on yield. They're focusing on DeFi for yield. They're focusing on payment solutions. They're focusing on stablecoins. That's what they're doing. And that's a current narrative right now. Now, with that narrative, I think privacy comes into play shortly after because of all the transparency. But Kevin is 100% right. And he sold his positions into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those, in my personal opinion, will do well long-term because Ethereum is BlackRock's chosen one right now. Bitcoin is its own kind of entity and one of the most decentralized cryptos. Now, do I think that Solana will fail, or XRP will fail, or HBAR will fail, VeChain will fail, and a lot of these other projects? No, I don't. I think that some of them will continue to do well. Stuff like Link. But right now, the market's not looking great. We don't have crypto market legislation. And I'm not saying to de-risk. I'm not saying to sell at all. I'm just pointing out what Kevin O'Leary has said. His portfolios are going to look a lot different than your portfolios. His trading and investing strategies is going to be a lot different than yours. So I think it's incredibly important to hear what a lot of these people are saying, and them de-risking and taking losses and different types of things. I'm not saying you should, I'm not saying you should sell, because this could very well be the bottom. However, I think it's important to pay attention to what other people are saying and how they are pivoting. Somebody says, why not just hodl? You can hodl all day long. But if you are going to hodl all day long and not make a moonbag, not de-risk, understand your pick might go to zero. So you could hold all day long. I'm not against that. I just do it differently. I hold with moonbags. And a moonbag is when you put disposable income in something, number goes up, and you're actively taking profit. So eventually you take your profit enough for taxes, initial investment, and a little bit of profit, and then you rinse and repeat. And then when you have left over, you hold free and clear, so that if it does well, you can profit later in the future. If it goes to zero, doesn't matter, because you've already removed all your risk. So you can hold all you want. It's completely up to you. I'm just telling you what big money is doing with their investments. I'm not telling you to follow that. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm telling you that this is the general consensus. This is something we talk about a lot in crypto, and that we're not going to see a lot of the top trending coins continue to trend next cycle. The narrative is going to be different. So moral of the story, you do what works for you, and you continue to be here and make as much money as legally and ethically as possible. All right. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and go and eat some delicious breakfast, but sending y'all love and light, and I hope you guys stay safe with the snowstorm. But yeah, we're not getting crypto market legislation right now. It's going to take a little bit of time, but